Hi guys, welcome everybody. It is time to have a little tarot talk. Let's see what's been going on in the news and what tarot's opinion might be on it. I have to say, with all the Catherine news that's been going on, let's just first make sure that we send out the most positive vibes and the most positive manifestations for her for the greatest of health. And a couple of weeks ago, she went into surgery, something was removed from her. This could possibly be, that they had to literally take out her uterus and everything else because that's a loss. The people around, they're just worried. They want to know. They want the information. It's like, where's the information? We deserve to know. Not that people feel like they deserve to know. Yeah, people feel that they deserve to know what her health is. And they're just chomping at the bit to find out about it. She's keeping it to herself right now, but within the next couple of months, 2 weeks to 2 months, she is going to come out and we are going to hear a little bit more about it. I don't know if she'll come out with the full story right away. Ooh. I mean, this is something she could have lost her life about. This is something they had to rush in to do because this is something that really could have affected her life strongly. Guys, we had done a reading and I don't want to do a reading on how she's going to be. I don't like doing readings on people's life and death. I just don't agree with it. Now, I have to say it was hard to watch so many of the conspiracy theories, like of people saying like she's already dead and or her husband's cheating on her and she's having a major breakdown and that's why they don't have her, to the point where somebody that I used to watch, not all the time, just once in a while, they're fun. And I thought, oh, I'll see their opinion on this. And they were so far down the rabbit hole that even when she came out to say, her cancer diagnosis, they kind of said, well, where's William? It was like, oh my God, bless it. So we're not going to go into that. It's that feeling of like, what are we doing? Are we living like in a non-reality? Like what is going on with us that, Catherine gets sick and instead of appreciating the fact that she was just trying to wait her time out so she could talk to her kids and putting her kids first and all that kind of stuff, it's like we get people that are so wanting to have this like wicked story to tell so that even when the truth comes out, they don't care. They'll just keep going on with their wicked story. It's like, when did non-reality become reality? It's sort of like those, I always blame, oh God, what's her name? I can see her from the crypt. It's awful, say that. Oh God, I almost had her name just then. Kellyanne Conway. When she said alternative facts, that ruined everything when it came to the media. So let's just see. How is this story going to affect the media? Are we going to see some people at least kind of step back from some of the conspiracy theories that have been going on and whatnot? So look, walking away. So there's a lot of people that had to backtrack and say, oops, well, obviously we were wrong. And, trying to be quiet about it, not really saying a whole lot across it. Holding on. There's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, that's probably not even her. That was probably a double. Like when people want to hold on to a conspiracy or if they want to hold on strongly to something that they believe, they'll believe anything. So always be careful about that. Underneath at the tower, oh my goodness gracious. Yes, the tower is underneath it all. In the past, arguing, fighting, like this would be the media trying to get their story, especially if we backtrack to the time of Diana, William's mother. And if you were alive during that time, you knew how famous Diana was. Like Catherine or Meghan, none of them like put all their celebrity together and they still wouldn't be able to make it up for what Diana had. On top of it, we got the King of Cups. So for all those who are saying that William's not there for her, they're full of, what makes the grass grow green, because he is being there and he's being very loving, very caring towards her and his children. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of understanding there. In the near future, there's going to be, with the media, it's going to be winner takes all. So it's going to be about getting the story. whoever can get to the story first, whoever can get that story out first. And they don't care who they have to walk on. So there's going to be, I think this might even be kind of segueing to more of the Epstein papers coming out, more names coming out and things coming out. So there's going to be like, there's going to be some more action going on, but it's sort of like, if you want to believe something, you can find the news channel that will be of your beliefs. So rather than getting the news and what's actually happening, we have a channel that's for this liberals, the channels for this for Republicans, channels that are for the independents, and so on and so forth. A lot of worry. There is so much hope and joy, not joy, well, yeah, joy, joyful noise, I guess, towards Catherine for her good health and for turning things around and wanting what's best for her and for her family and for her children, and really, you know, putting a lot of positive energy and vibration her way. She's really a strong woman. She is sacrificing she sacrificed a lot for herself, you know, to get through this to this point, knowing that people were talking and making up all these crazy stories, but she held in because her family was the most important thing to her. And she is looking at this like, I'm going to beat this. This is not going to beat me. Look, guys, she's going to be fine. Whatever she's going through, yes, I mean, she's got to go through the chemo and stuff, and that's not good. I know, you know, even in our previous reading, we kind of went, ugh, she really dodged a bullet. Well, this is her dodging that bullet. She's going to be of good health, and the news will tell that true story about her, that she is in good health. And eventually, the stories will have to swayed a little bit. But the reality is that the ones that are putting out the crazy conspiracy theories that are just, come on, you know, it reminds me of like getting those, the old time magazines that you get, all the gossip magazines. And this was when Donald and Ivanka were together. Ivana. When Donald and Ivana, and they were smashed all over the papers all the time. That's what it reminds me of. So I do think that with the ending card is not just a positive thing towards Catherine, it's a positive thing towards the media. I think in this time of confusion, in this time of having to tear down that which we know what we're used to, the fact that we have to find our news, we have to be consumers of news and find where we can get truthful news and compare it and all that kind of stuff. But I feel that as time goes by, you're going to see news people, especially locals, like more, like not so much CNN and them, but more the local news. You're going to see them being more responsive, more responsible about what they're putting out, and really coming from a local viewpoint and doing better for the people, putting out better information, putting out the news rather than putting out an opinion. Because it seems like politics is just over everything. So, yay, Catherine. I'm so glad she'll be okay. But, wow, just so much happening with them, hey? But with the king and everything, God bless them, the whole family. Well, at least they have Queen Elizabeth up there holding down the fort, sending them the best wishes that she can. She knows how it's all going to work out. She knows the secret. We don't know the secret, but she knows the secret. So, to our next question. Ooh, we're going to go on to Melania. Melania, did you see her?
Trump, are you going to return to the campaign trail with your husband? Stay tuned.
So what this actually means is that it depends on if Donald pays me or not. You know? It's all about the payment. Even though everybody's like, oh my God, she's going to divorce him. Barron's going to turn 18, so now she doesn't have to owe Donald Trump anything. She's going to be leaving him soon and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, if I can get my cards to cooperate with me. It's not my cards, it's my hands. Every now and then, if I sound, oh my God. Anyway, I'm just going to tell it like it is. when weather changes, if there's going to be any kind of weather, I get these pains that come into my fingers, and it's like, I can tell, like, uh-oh, we're going to be getting snow or that kind of a thing. So it makes it hard when I'm shuffling the cards. I know. Did we really want to know that? Well, let's just check in on Melania. Let's just leave that alone. That's just me. That's just part of my guiding system. What's the weather like? Should I go out tomorrow? Oh, Lord. So, Melania, are you going to be part of the race, or are you out now that Baron has turned 18? Let's see. Oh, she still has a contract with him, and she has made promises to him in the past that she is going to be expected to hold true to. So the promise to be there is there, but to a limited space. She's holding all the cards. She's the magician. I think, and that's exactly what she's going to be. She's going to be the magician. She's going to be there sometimes and then not be there the majority of times. It'll always be like, where's Melania? Where's Melania? She's there. She's going to stick around. Ooh. Underneath it is death, transformation. Well then, okay. So at the very core of it, we've got this major decision that's going to affect the rest of their lives. And she has made a promise to him in the past that he's hoping she'll hold through. She has kind of teased, but she is actually the magician. She holds all the cards. She has the ability. Whatever she wants, she can get away with. But underneath it, we've got the death card, which means there could be a transformation, a change. It could mean that she's going to end up leaving Donald. In the past, here we've got Donald. He won. He's the king. He was the president of the United States. It was good to be Melania at that time. On top of it, walking away. Holy. Walking away. Wow. And at 10 and 18, Baron's turning 18. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see what the future holds. She's looking for her money. She's looking for her loot. So I think, like we said, pay up, Donald. You know, if you give me the money, I will show up every now and then. But other than that, that's nothing. There's nothing more. She's already in a relationship with somebody else that's rocking her world. Letting you know. People around are kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen with this situation. We don't know if she's going to show up. We don't know if she's going to keep her promise to Donald, or is she walking away from all this? It really depends on payment. And Donald doesn't have a lot of money, considering that they're putting liens on everything. Go Letitia James! High Priestess. So the fact is that she is acting aloof. She's going to do as she wants to do based on how she feels at the time. If Donald's in the winning lane, she may show up from time to time, or but I just don't see this consistent. I see this as like it's already broken up, it's already in pieces, and they're trying to figure out how to make it all, waiting for her ships to come in. So I really think this comes down to money. Melania is looking at money, how much she can get. If Donald was to get in for another 4 years, she could do up this amount of cash flow for herself. On top of it, she is already having her needs met by somebody else. And Donald, as far as I'm concerned, is aware of this. He knows this. He just doesn't want it to be public in any way, shape, or form. And as long as the payment's there, she'll stay there until she sees fit to leave. It won't be on his timeline. It'll be on her timeline, which, could be anywhere from the next three months to 3 years. Now that it's in the 3 zone, 3 months, 3 years time span, where you will find out definitely about the dissolvement of their relationship. So that was interesting. I wasn't expecting all of that. Well, Melania, what is next? What is next? What is next? The cards back in.
But it simply did not have the numbers to bring down the government.
I declare the motion defeated.
The minority Trudeau government won the day with the support of Bloc Québécois and NDP MPs. The Tories would surely have known they would lose, but for them, the point of the exercise was to force the debate.
We as common sense conservatives are ready to restore hope in this country, but it starts with change. We rise today to vote non-confidence in this NDP Liberal government.
Meanwhile, in Canada, they had a non-confidence vote. They were trying to put a non-confidence vote against Trudeau because of the carbon tax, which I tell you is really, like, it's brutal to see it on your, it's brutal. It's a brutal tax, and it is costing us an arm and a leg. But he had a confidence vote, and it did not pass. So I'm just going to look and see, is there going to be pressure? There's pressure on him to resign, always. But I'm just wondering, is there going to be pressure on him to set an election? What's happening with them? Because there's just so much. I mean, you think politics is interesting. Canadian politics is really interesting. Just like, you know, this kind of response.
Would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given, you know, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a, you know, it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense. Okay. Common sense.
Like, really? Okay. Anyway, Trudeau. What's going to happen with Trudeau? I'm going to make it a smaller one. Yeah. He'll call an election, but it'll be next year. I think at this point, he's still looking at possibly running. I think there's a lot of, it just feels like there's some kind of goal that he still has that he's trying to work out for himself. So even though I think he may be out of a job if he goes forward, it does look like he's going to go forward. So I would think we're going to be looking at an election coming up in the next year, and we'll see then what happens. I don't know, are we going to keep Trudeau, or is the want for change happening, the carbon tax, all that kind of stuff? There's just been a lot happening. Okay, so from Tess, thank you very much for another awesome question. A new Ruby Frank video came out showing the questioning of her husband, who claimed the house was possessed when Jody was there. What could you tell us about that if you're interested? Thanks. I am interested. Now, Jody was Ruby's partner, and she was the one that they said really brought the idea of all these types of abuse into the home. She was the reason why the husband stayed away. And so, I mean, can somebody come in? And I mean, we know this already. I mean, you look at Hitler, you look at Trump. People can get possessed by somebody, an entity, and pledge allegiance to it blindly. So we already know that. So there's no doubt. But is it evil? Is there something more happening there? Was there a curse? Was there something that caused for Ruby to do what she did, and for her husband to just ignore the situation, thinking that it was better to be without his family? because somebody was telling him that. And do you know what I mean? It all just kind of sounds like everybody was just not paying, everybody was like just not paying attention and doing what was right. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, who would go without seeing their children all that time? Like, you know. But then you're depending on other people to tell you what your life is going to be. I just want to look and see. Was this something she would have done on her own, or she was already previously doing on her own? Or was Jody really the evil entity? Was she the toxicity that ruined that family and ruined that home? Did she purposely plan it? Because that's evil. That's evil. Let's just look at the situation. Sacrifice. So I think these children, even before Jody came into their lives, were being sacrificed. There's this ego that is with both parents, but most especially with the mom. The ego is what's driving her. Crossing her is this want for, is this attainment for riches, this attainment for publicity, for being known. Underneath it all, just, you know, willing to lose it all for the gaining of material things, willing to do unspeakable things to your children to have views on YouTube, doing things that you're blaming somebody else for, but the truth is that you have to have that kind of evil in you to do it. Somebody can't put that evil inside of you that quickly, that easily. You've got to be willing to do it. I mean, look, from Munchausen syndrome came to mind. Like, this is a woman that has an issue, mental deficiency right from the get-go. Wanting to hold on to the family, wanting to hold on to this career, this everything that she built up, this being known, this 15 minutes of fame that she had. Ooh. Of course, we're going to get the Tower, everything falling apart, everything just falling apart. You know, this is that time in life when your choices have reactions. And sometimes people take accountability, sometimes they don't. But in this situation, accountability is not an option. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. Ooh, people want to see this woman dead. Like, they really dislike, and I think there's a lot of people that think that the dad should have known better, that that it's hard to believe that this was so cultish, but it really was. But the evil was already there within the mother, Frankie. She already had that evil inside of her, that she was so easily led to be able to do this abusive things to her children. She was doing abusive things or thinking about doing abusive things prior to any of this. At the end of the day, what ended up happening was temperance. Temperance for the kids. Temperance for the kids, that their lives were saved, that they're out of harm's way, that she'll pay her, you know, her debt to society. As far as the father goes, I don't think he knew what was going on. I think he had some inklings, like, but he was like almost too afraid to let his mind go there until he found out the truth. And then he felt like, rather than looking at the truth and saying, my poor children, it was more of like, oh my God, the truth, and defending myself. So do I think he knew that she was abusing her children this way? No. Or their children this way? No. But I think there was a part of him that was willing to kind of walk away from their life for a while, and to have somebody say, listen, it's best for you not to be around, that he was able to say, yeah, it's probably best for me not to be around. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't so hard for him to not be there. He will be part of what brings temperance to this whole situation. The Father will be part of hopefully giving these children everything they need to be successful and to help deal with any trauma that has been put upon them, you know. So, blessings to them. So my darlings, that is technically the end of our video. So I will let people go here because I know you have things to do and you just want to drop by and see what the political news was happening. And as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And until the next time we talk, take care and we'll see you soon. Now, for the rest of you, stay. Don't lose. Don't move. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and so for those of you who normally watch my weekly vibes, there's not too many of us, but you're a lovely group and I love you to pieces. I can't help it. I miss doing like the, you know, watch a little video, think of a number that resonates with you, 1, 2, or 3, and then go to that number and get some advice. So that's what we're going to do. I have new oracle cards, which are Believe in Your Own Magic. And I thought just to give us a little advice going forward for the week. So think about what number resonates with you, go to that number, and let's see what our week is going to be like.
Hello, everybody.
So for my beautiful people in group 1, what card do we get for you? Morning, the world awaits you. Morning, the world awaits you. You've been alive, sure. You've been waking up, doing what you need to get through your day, going back to sleep, repeat. Have you been living, though, truly living? I think that you need to hear this now more than ever. Your life is incredibly precious. Out there, the world awaits you. Now is the time to make good moments and learn to treasure them as they come. So for my darlings in group 2, what card do you get from the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck? And this is the magic that I need to be able to read it. Mural. Be your own first priority. Mural, be your own first priority. Whatever you're currently grappling with, you must put yourself first. When you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before you try to help your neighbor with theirs. That is to say, if you don't make sure your own energy bar is full, then you have no energy to give someone else. Be brave enough to admit when you need to take a step back from the demands of others and work on making sure you're okay. And for my little buds in grade 3. And so for my buddies in group 3, what do we need to know from our Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle? Mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. Mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. You've been feeling self-conscious as of late, but the answer isn't to change anything about yourself. The answer is to learn to love the body you've been given. Avoid those crash diets and extreme exercises or anything that's unhealthy behavior. Take strides towards a healthy mindset that accepts yourself as you are, not what you feel pressured to be. So now we're at the real ending. So that's our reading for today. As always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. Please feel free to subscribe. And if you're subscribed or you think you're subscribed, check because you might be unsubscribed. Like, share, leave a comment. You never know. If you leave a comment, I may do the question that you asked. So, you know, join Nine's Corner and be part of my light workers that are just the most amazing people on this earth. And let's send out some really good vibes for Princess Catherine and for King Charles. So, all right, guys, until the next time we chat, take care. God bless. Cheerio.